Hello, my gorgeous, goofy, juicy, joyous Geminis. I hope that Pisces season is going well for you. As you know, we are in full swing of Mercury retrograde, which is kind of fucking with everybody. So check out the Sun, Moon, and Rising of the retrograde lessons if you want. They're really heavy messages, so I use some very light decks. But this is your Twin Flame Soulmate reading for March of 2020. So for anyone who's new here, we use this, the Erotic Tarot, as the general energy. We use this as the clarifier for the light aspect. Those are lessons that are a little bit more lighthearted. The karmic lessons that we lose that we learn that are lighter lessons, a little bit easier on the soul, and also things that have a lot of light shed upon them that you are very aware of, like you and the person in this connection or are aware of it. And then the shadow, which is its sister deck, so these talk to each other. You can't have light without shadow. You can't have a shadow without a light. So the shadow is the darker and deeper karmic lessons that we learn through this type of soul bond with soulmates and twin flames. And these are definitely the harder things to go through, the darker things to go through, and also things that might be hidden from us in the shadow. So I want to jump right to it. Before we start the reading, we also look at, so I do a cleansing ceremony, and it shows energy that is being let go of before we start the new spread. So what is being let go of in general is the Five of Earth, which is Taurus Mercury. This is not talking about what sort of physical lack is going on. So, even this woman's begging, like she needs things, but she's not begging. She's on the floor, she's on the ground. And this is, so it's like not talking about something that you're physically lacking, whether it's money or housing situation or, anything tangible stuff. And it's about punishment. So honestly, I feel some sexual stuff about not getting punished. Maybe physically you're letting go of like not talking about needing some sort of physical punishment. If you're into that sexually, or maybe in a dynamic. But it could also be, about some sort of, like, not talking about how you feel punished towards a situation, no matter what it may be. And this could have also been about a physical fight that had occurred, or some sort of fight that did occur, or someone doing something to the other that felt like a punishment that somehow influence the physical world, and someone's not talking about it. Sorry. It's that issue is being let go of in March. So communication might come through. We'll have to see. In the light, what is being let go of is the Seven of Wands. This is like a projected future. And because it's wands, it has to do with hearts, passion, intensity. So it could be the romantic aspects of a relationship, the sexual aspects of a relationship. And I think it's about where you projected, where you thought it would go. We have Mars here in the picture as well. So how action would be taken, how movement occurs. And it's about the Knight of Swords. So there's something about, like not getting the final draft right? The Knight of Swords writes drafts over and over and over again. It's rough draft after rough draft after rough draft, and like not getting it right. So it's about letting go of that sort of lower, very indirect communication. And in the shadow, what is being let go of is issues about emotional balance, about the elemental of air, about communication. So it looks like it could be a little bit turbulent coming up, like someone is letting go of their emotional balance about communicating. Okay, so Let's see here. Let's get going, Gemini. Please show... Let's do one of these. Please show the general energy. Only 1 to 3 cards. Please show the general energy for Gemini and their soulmate twin flame. Please show the general energy for Gemini. The Priest. So, could be a Taurus involved. That's the second Taurus card that's come out. But there's some sort of like hypocritical energy that's going on. Someone is talking the talk but not walking the walk. You know, like the priest goes and tells the woman like, shut your legs, don't do this, da, 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 da. You know, like live a pious life, that sort of energy. Meanwhile, you know, he's probably diddling kids, you know what I mean? It's like this, the priest energy. It's so hypocritical of like, I'm holier than thou, I can do no wrong, but you're doing everything wrong. Damn. Sorry, Gemini, that's some not good general energy that's going on in March. Let's take a look at the light aspect. What's the light aspect of this? Oh. Wow, we had these come out again. So, the light aspect is about this projection about the future and trying. I think that there is going to be another draft. You know what I mean? I think whatever that issue was happening, it's like the light aspect is that you're going to want to try to write another draft about the projected future of where you want it to go. And it looks like 10 of Chalices. This is positive as fuck. This is like marriage, happiness, like being together, sacred union. 10 of Cups, like 10 of Chalices. You don't get much better than that. So there's going to be another attempt. There is going to be another attempt. How that's hypocritical beats me. Let's see if the shadow tells us. Jupiter. Okay, so there's some aspect of abundance that's happening. So, right now Jupiter is in Saturn, and Jupiter is all about, you know, I always call him Sugar Daddy Jupiter. So, you ask him for what you want, and he gives it to you. And, you know, we had Jupiter at home in Sagittarius for a year, and then it shifted into Capricorn, I think, like April or something. Yeah, I should probably keep a calendar of when all these transition occurs. It's in my brain somewhere, right? Anyway, when Jupiter moved to Capricorn, actually I think it was November. Anyway, it's all about manifesting what we ask for through the physical world. So I think that in the shadow, the general energy is, you know, like what is physically being done in order to manifest things. How are you going to get Sugar Daddy Jupiter to give you what you want? You have to work in the physical world, and that's in the shadow. So either something is happening in secret of how that's going to occur, or the physical action towards that in order to get Jupiter's blessings is a little bit like the fire's in the shadow. So the passion might not be there, might not be activated. So it's like someone, the general energy is someone, yeah, I'm going to write down a graph, we're going to talk about it, everything's going to be great, you know, that's the conversation. But in the shadow, it's like someone's saying this, but how you gonna do it? How you gonna manifest it? How you gonna bring that about? All right, let's see how you are viewing your soulmate twin flame. How is Gemini viewing their soulmate twin flame? How? Oh, I think they want. How is Gemini viewing the soulmate twin flame? Ooh. I put on lotion right before this. It might have been a little bit of a mistake. Sorry, cards. How are you viewing them? It's weird because I had no problem before, but it's like, I think maybe you view them as a little sticky. How is Gemini viewing their soulmate twin flame? So Knight of Earth in reverse. This is a Virgo card in reverse. So you're seeing them as someone who might not move barriers from your path, might put barriers in front of you. You also might see them as someone who doesn't move the barriers in front of themselves as well. Like, the Virgo card upright is like, she doesn't give a fuck. Nothing's going to get in her way. She doesn't damage things either when she moves forward. She's very careful. You know, they could have run through that. I'm sure the horse would be fine, you know, especially if she was like some rootin' tootin' cowboy, you know, like, fuck this fence. Let's get it. Like, Black Hawk, or, you know, whatever the fuck the cowpoke would name his horse, you know. But she's very dainty and she respects things. So when she moves forward, she doesn't let anything get in her way, but she's also very careful not to cause damage when she, you know, in her path. She's a very careful, kind of slower moving energy. So that energy's in reverse is how you're viewing them. Like, they might be a little bit reckless. They might be running into shit. They might, you know, not slow down. They might not want to slow down and move something aside, you know. They might be the rootin' tootin' cowboy. All right, let's see in the light. How does Gemini view them in the light? How does Gemini view the soulmate twin flame in the light? Queen of Wands in reverse and Three of Wands in reverse. So, wow. All right, so you don't see them as the Queen of Wands, so maybe not the person you've had the brightest flame for, to be honest. And so this might be like your second soulmate, or maybe you've already met a twin flame and this is a soulmate or something like that. Especially because we have the Three of Wands here, which I always take as a third-party situation. So it doesn't look like the third-party situation is active, you know, that would have been like this. So I feel like you have a stronger flame for someone else. Like, this person is not, you know, the Queen of Wands for you. And this is also the highest form of divine feminine spirituality in reverse. So, so you might think that maybe they're not using their magic the right way. And also that perhaps they aren't in control of their fire. You know, the Queen of Wands is, you know, the master of the fire. So maybe not able to control their passion, their sexual drive, you know, the fire aspects of life, but they also aren't invested in another situation. It's not a third party. So I feel like maybe devotion is something how you see them. You see them like they wouldn't cheat on you. They wouldn't be with somebody else. How do you view them in the shadow? So, emotional balance and the God. So, we have like some Libra and some Aries energy here. So, you view them in the shadow, like their masculine energy is definitely in the shadow, the divine masculine. You see them as emanating divine masculine very much, and also this like emotional balance is something that you see them kind of like in the dark. So maybe they have a darker emotional balance system, and it might be because of this divine masculine in the shadow, because, you know, the shadow is the dark, you know, the negative. I don't mean negative as in like emotionally negative, you know, just as a force it's negative, and masculine is positive, and the shadow is the feminine. So they have a lot of the divine masculine in their divine feminine, and that might cause some emotional imbalance issues. Interesting. Let's see how they're viewing you. How does the soulmate twin flame view Gemini right now? How does the soulmate twin flame view Gemini right now? That's too much. Although I did get the message from when it flashed. It's like they're waiting for you to come out from the shadows. Like they see you as someone coming out from the shadows, or they want that from you. You know, they like have all these love letters around them of like, oh, you know, like here's all the love letters I'm reading. Is this ever going to manifest? Like, you know, the walk, talk the talk sort of thing. And especially the general energy was that sort of hypocrite of like saying one thing and doing another. And I saw here for how they view you, it's like they've been looking at all those rough drafts, you know, that you've been sending. And they're like, are you going to do something? All right. Please show how they view Gemini. Please show how the soulmate twin flame views Gemini. How does the soulmate twin flame view Gemini? Wow, yeah, the priest. I'm so glad that I took what I saw in here and started talking about hypocrite. I'm sorry, Gemini. They see you as a hypocrite. They see you as not saying, not doing what you said that you were going to do. I'm not saying that you're a hypocrite. I'm not saying you did something or you said something that you were going to do and you didn't do it. But this is how they view you. Please show the light aspect of how they view Gemini. So, Six of Wands and Queen of Chalices in reverse. So, they see that you're striving, that you're struggling, that you're trying to keep going, you know, in the Six of Wands, and that you are still growing in this heart situation. It's like, you know, your heart, you're still climbing in this, you know, your wand is still there. There's still more to do, and your heart's in it. You're using your passion to continue. You are invested, but the Queen of Chalices in reverse, it's like, maybe you weren't there to help them mourn something, or you weren't there for them when they needed you. And it might have been about emotional situation, because, you know, the Queen of Chalices is really good at emotional regulation, but the Queen of Chalices is like so good at knowing emotions that she knows when it's time to talk to somebody else, and, you know, and not bear that burden alone. So because it's in reverse, they see you as either you have not confided in them about something and that you've taken on a burden maybe that you can't handle and you don't know how to delegate something, or that you weren't there for them. It's like they know you're invested, you're in it, but it's like, oh, but you weren't there for me for this, or something like that. Alright, let's see how they view you in the shadow. How does the soulmate twin flame view Gemini in the shadow? The Seven of Earth. So, they, two, one, that your earth can really penetrate their waters, that you really can get inside of their emotions. You touch them very deeply. You are able to go in the deep, dark waters for them. They feel you. Like, they really do. And also, they might see you as a little bit of an emotional predator. So, just letting you know. Not saying you are, Gemini. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's how they see you, okay? Bless you. I love you, Geminis, okay? So many blessings to you. It looks like this person's judging the fuck out of you, because I can already, like, hear what you're saying. It's like, but I'm the master of rough drafts. Like, I'm constantly changing my mind and what's going on. That's part of who I am. You know, how are you going to ask me to have a graph and project where things are going when you know I'm the person who will write the plan and then throw it away and do it again and throw it away. And like this person is seeing you as like a hypocrite for that. But for you, it's like, no, that's not hypocritical. I just changed my mind. I'm still invested though. Anyway, that's what I'm getting, okay, on your behalf. So let's see the general energy. Oh, of the connective. There we go. So the Empress and Justice in reverse. I have a feeling that justice has not been done for the Empress. You know, and I have a feeling that the connective is that the divine masculine really worships the divine feminine. And I have a feeling that's in both of you. Like the divine masculine worships the divine feminine in you, and you worship the divine masculine in the other, in your soulmate twin flame for sure. But the connective is justice has not been done. Some sort of justice has not been served. And this is also like not hiding in the shadows sort of stuff. And also this is Leo and this is Venus. So Leo and Venus together is a very giving, cuddly, like, imagine a cat, but a really nice one a cat that wants attention like a dog and affection like a dog. That's a Leo Venus, you know, just like head rubbing and purring and that sort of stuff. So, the connective could be very much that way, but justice has not been served in this situation. What is the light energy of the connective? The Knight of Chalices. So, kind of like a little bit daydreamy when it comes to the emotions, a little bit emotionally detached. The Knight is like an emotional traveler, like movement, not really, not there. There's also an aspect of like reminiscing, like it's kind of a little bit fuckboy energy, a little bit of like, oh, you know, like, oh, I love this person so much, but I'm just gonna go here and, you know, like enjoying the reminiscing and the longing for love, like for poetic sake or something, you know what I mean? Kind of like putting yourself through that emotional turmoil and being like, oh, I love them so much. Like, oh, it's so bad that I had to go and, you know, explore, you know, like Geminis like to, or somebody else, you know what I mean? But, it's a little bit being detached and fanciful about the emotional aspect of that. What is the connective in the shadow? Whoa, whoa, whoa. So we have the Nine of Earth, Samhain in reverse, and Maiden of Water in reverse. So let's see. Someone's getting like really discontent with their surroundings here in the connective. So in the shadow, that's like your physical surroundings is really important, and the connective is that there is like an unsettling feeling about what's going on there, but also not bored. Like you guys definitely don't get bored with each other in your connective. And with Samhain in reverse, is pretty good. So like things between you are pretty light in the connective. Like it's not boring at all. And it's not dark. You know, Samhain is like Halloween energy. This is like dark black magic and, you know, preparing for the darkest of the dark. It's before, you know, you transition into winter. So you start preparing for darkness to enter your life. So it's that in reverse. So I do see light, and we have the Maiden of Water in reverse. So it's not a new emotional thing. This has been going on for a while. It's not the ushering in like new emotions, and it's not juvenile emotions either. So you guys are the connective, very emotionally invested, and it's light, and you guys, you don't get bored with each other. Let's see what the blockage is. What is the blockage for Gemini and their soulmate in twin flame? What is the blockage? The blockage is Gemini, Knight of Air. So I'm going to say this isn't you, baby, but it might be. You might be blocking something on purpose. Hey, you have total right to do that. So you might be blocking something. Also, the Knight of Air is an energy of come and go. So someone coming in and out of the situation, going in and out of the relationship, in and out of communication is the blockage. It's not grounded. It doesn't take root anywhere. It just travels around. What's the light energy of the blockage? What is the light energy of the blockage? Whoa. Well, a lot wanted to pop out. Maybe it's one of these. Please, only 1 to 3 cards. They show the light aspect of the blockage. They show 1 to 3 cards. What is the blockage between Gemini and their soulmate twin flame? It came out like this. So it's like up and down. It's the King of Pentacles. So money, housing situation, anything tangible you can put your hands on is part of the blockage, and it's literally blocking. It looks like it's not improving, and it's not, you know, de-escalating. But there is something about the physical world, and it's about the King of Pentacles. So like being the king, the highest divine masculine form of physical stability, which is money, housing situation, anything tangible you can put your hands on, which makes sense. I mentioned, you know, like the Knight of Air doesn't take root anywhere, like doesn't stop, is just a consistent traveler. And the King of Pentacles, like, buys a fucking house and is saying howdy doody to his new neighbors, you know? Well, actually, they're saying howdy doody to their neighbor, who's been there for a long time, you know? Like, it's the King of Pentacles of make like the root foundation of where you're gonna build your home, build your life. What is the shadow aspect of the blockage? And you know that that's the problem, that's the blockage. I have a feeling that you're the one, if both of you aren't aware, you're the one who's aware of this, because it's Gemini. 5 of Earth. This came up earlier too. That was like the begging girl. Excuse me. The girl who refused to beg. Taurus, Mercury. But so we have the 5 of Earth again. So the blockage is water emotion that is erupting through the physical. So there could be a lot of emotions that come out when it's talked about. 5 of Earth, about the physical, about money, about housing situation, about anything tangible you can put your hands on. Like, it is a very emotionally overwhelming thing. Like, it's a fucking waterfall. Ooh. Alright, let's take it down a notch for a moment, and let's take a peek at your sex life. Show me Gemini's sex life. Okay. Alright, so Queen of Air. There's some teasing going on here for sure. And it looks like it's probably just communication. This is a Libra card. So, the Queen of Air is very lighthearted, upbeat, like hee hee ha ha, I'm gonna, you know, show my ass sort of thing. But it's not a very sexual card. Yeah, because Knight of Air, just coming and going, One of Earth, not starting something new. So it looks like you're flirting with a lot of people and just kind of, you know, like, like having fun. But and maybe you are sleeping with people, but if you are, because it's the Queen of Air, very flirty, very naughty, you know, but it's the Knight of Air, so if you are having sex with someone, it's not with anyone serious. It's with someone that really you could leave or take, I want to say. And it also could be someone that you have this kind of in and out relationship. So could be with someone that you're consistently in and out of, that you never really start something real physical with, you know? Okay, my dear Geminis, let's take a look at what your spirit guides have to say. What is the message from Spirit that Gemini needs to hear about this connection? What does Gemini need to hear about this connection? 3. If you never have a broken heart, you'll never truly learn love. Ooh, so possibly a heartbreak is coming up, or you need to accept a heartbreak that did happen. Wow, that was intense. That was intense. So you might have had your heart broken by this person before, because it is soulmate twin flame. That happens. It only takes a second to say I love you, but it takes a lifetime to show how much. Wow. Can we get any clearer? Like, this person is, you know, viewing you as a hypocrite right now because of these, like, multiple, you know, rough drafts of something that you're making, and, you know, bringing it into the physical realm seem to be the issue here. And, you know, like, it takes a lifetime to prove it. It just takes a second to say that I love you. So, you know, even if it's just this rough draft over and over again, I feel like you would do these rough drafts until the end of time with this person. But, you know, it takes, like, maybe this person needs to hear these words, you know, and maybe they want this sort of affirmation of where things are going. You know, that projection energy came up with the, like, it only takes a second to say I love you, but it takes a lifetime to show it. And I feel like you're like, you know, I do all this stuff and I'm going to try to do this. You know, there's really a break in what is said and what is done. And maybe that separation is something that your spirits are really pointing out. Some people will die for love, while others will die because they have lost it. Wow, that's pretty heavy. So I have a feeling it's about this heartbreak as well. And, you know, wow. So I have a feeling when there was a disconnect, you know, someone felt like they had lost everything, but that you really are willing to sacrifice anything for this relationship, that you would, like, die for it. But I think it's also healthy, you know, where, you know, others will die because they have lost love. I really think that that sort of codependency is something to look out for. So be wary of that. It's like, do you really want to be so, like, madly attached to someone that you die without them? That doesn't seem very healthy, you know. And soulmate twin flame connections teach us that, like, wow, that is not healthy and it needs to be healed, you know. And they're usually safe relationships to experience those karmic lessons. All right, let's see what Spirit has to say to heal. This is a new deck. Sorry, I forgot to introduce it. It is the Universal Love Healing Oracle. What should be focused on to heal this connection between Gemini and their soulmate twin flame? Listening. Wow. Someone needs to listen. And, you know, we talked about this, you know, the difference between talking and doing, but I think someone really needs to focus on listening as well about whatever is being communicated. Wow. Listen to what the other person has to say and make sure that the other person is listening to you. This is a very important skill in order to understand where someone is coming from. So focus on listening, and also, of course, always listen to yourself, listen to your inner voice, listen to your intuition, all things that never steer you wrong, ever. Okay? Okay, my dear Geminis, I hope that you got the confirmations that you needed. As always, thumbs up, the comments, subscribing, heavily, heavily appreciated, so that you can give me a little bit of feedback on how I'm doing for you guys, because, you know, the more energy that you sent to me, the more energy I can give to you. So I hope you got the confirmations that you needed, and I hope to see you again for the next spread in April. Okay, bye-bye, my babies. Mwah.